And hello, Texas. Don't turn that dial. This is the Fly Mackey Show, and I'm your host, Fly Mackey. Good to have you tonight here. Good to see who else is on Twitter or X, LinkedIn, all those other sites. We're glad you guys are with us tonight. Also, too, Corpus Christi, Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Man, I'm telling you, good to have you guys on tonight here. Wanted to talk a little bit. We're going to do a shorter version of the show tonight, but wanted to talk a little bit about BlackRock and Vanguard and how those two companies match up, and then what's really happening with, their Bitcoin ETF and what's going on with them. I wanted to share something with you guys. Let me pull up one of these screens. I think, hold on one second here. Where are we here? Anyway, we're going to get to that here shortly. Hold on one second for me, okay? Bada bing, bada bang. Okay. Update the channel. I am not sure. So for Instagram and sending data, not sure what's going on with that. Okay. We're going to get there. But hello, Texas, Corpus Christi, Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Texas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. We're in Doug Johnson Studios here tonight. Man, it's hot in here. I love it. It's one of my partners, and we use his garage as a studio, and I love doing here. So we set up a little, I'm not going to show you. On that side over there, we're going to put up some monitors. Back here, we're going to put up some tools, and I use this whiteboard all the time. You guys know that. Anyway, it's good to be here in studio tonight. I want to talk to you a little bit about Bitcoin. And let me get my TV channel up here. And there we are on TV. Can you believe that? Holy cow. Let me see if I can share this. There's Smart Money Culture right there. Okay, so I was at the Salt River today. And I was at the administration offices and briefly talked to our president of the reservation, the tribal president, Martin Haver. And it was just exciting stuff going on. And we were talking about our channels, and they have elections coming up for board members. And I'd love to get these guys, maybe not the board members, but it's important to the tribe to talk about these things, right? People ask them all the time, what do you believe in this and that? What is your stance on this and that? And sometimes it's good, and sometimes, most of the time, they ain't got nothing good to say. That I know, because I heard plenty of them's comments, and I'm like, I can't believe you're actually running for council. Like, some of the things that come out of your mouth is pretty stupid. But that's most politicians. Most politicians out there don't have a lot to say. But as you can see, I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying, like, most politicians don't have a lot of good things to say. Now, the I'd like to do on the next coming up election to do a debate for who's running for president. Like, get out there and say what your policies are and what you have planned. I mean, you got a lot of these guys come in. Now, this last president, the one we have now, President Javier, has done a pretty good job. Smart guy, charismatic, engaging, seems to have things working pretty good. I like that guy. But anyway, who knows what's going to happen next? Hold on one second here. I have, let's not do that one. This isn't really yeah, Yahoo Finance. I want to go over something real quick, and I'm going to share this tab right here. You see this right here, guys? So this are the 11 companies that were approved for Bitcoin ETFs. You see this? We're using Yahoo Finance here for the news right now. Unpacking the 11 Bitcoin ETFs approved by the SEC. And of course, Bitcoin was originally, if you ever read the white paper, it was intended to be used as a cryptocurrency, like the dollar, as a currency. But it has really gone off to the right. It's gone to the right and the left in all kinds of directions, other than becoming an actual currency. And most right now are using it for what you would call a store of value, where they believe they can put their money into the Bitcoin and it's going to hold some value. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work out. I don't think in the long run it is. I think the institutional buyers are going to have their way, and then down the road, I can see. And by the way, this isn't too big to lose. It's a $2 trillion market, but I could see how that over the period, if one of these other Bitcoins, if the blockchain behind, like, for example, Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Satoshi Vision took off and it was actually working, that it could crash the other BTC. Matter of fact, I have it tracked. I have it charted at much differently than most other analysts or technical analysts out there. And I'll show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. Hold on one second for me. Hold on. We're going to be right back with you. Bada bing, bada bang. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Hold on, guys. I may have left that somewhere else. Anyway, I was looking for some technical stuff. All right, we're back. But once again, you know, who knows where these ETFs are going? I mean, Bitcoin's going in a lot of different directions. You got people that are really putting lots of money into it, and who knows if it's actually going to, like the BTC that's there now. If one of the other Bitcoins take off, for example, like BSV or Bitcoin Cash, sooner or later they're going to have to merge. And I think the developers for BTC, that's what they're betting on. Let's take a look here real quick. Bitcoin right now trading at $59,269. It's up, if you see over here, it's up 12.5 or 12.5% in trading volume for the day. Traded 29 billion 124 million shares or coins, dollars, excuse me. Boy, we're tongue-tied today. And this is really the story. This tells the story right here. I'm not going to go into I have a chart. We'll go to the chart here in a second. But Ethereum's trading at $2,589. It also traded 12,248 million. It's up 10% in daily trading volume. I'm going to go down here to Ripple or XRP, trading at 59 cents. It's down 22.33% in daily trading volume for the day. $1.3 billion. That's quite a bit of trading. Cardano trading at 34 cents. Traded $256 million today, 257. It's up 6.63%. Now, this is something to watch when the trading volume gets low. I know on Bitcoin, let's go back up to Bitcoin, the trading volume was only 12% for the day in the last, starting from this hour to the last. So the way eBay works, guys, the way this site works here, Matt Dixon, what he does is every hour he updates the top 100 coins on how much it traded incrementally for the last 24 hours. So this hour here, backtrack 23 hours. Next hour, it's going to be that hour, backtrack 23 hours. Okay, that's how he does his site. It is up to date. It's real current. I mean, it's current info. But what I like about Matt's site here, eBay.io, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we're close enough. What I like about it is not only does he give the position, so you can see here that he's positioning AAA rating here, but he's not saying anything on the buy and sell. Now, over here on Binance, you see Binance trading at $563.28. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum, he has it as a AAA rating. He has Binance coin at an A rating. He also has it in the sell position. But if you look here, Bitcoin is down 2.6% for the week. Ethereum 4.4% for the week. And Binance is up 7% for the week. And now he has it in the sell position. It's the only one in the top 10 or so here. Actually, until you get down to Litecoin, 20-something coins down. Does he have any coins rated in the sell position? Litecoin trading at $64.11. As it as an A rating, and it is for sale, or at least he has it in the sell position. We're going to go back and look at some of these other coins here in a second. Monero or the chart. We're going to look at the chart. Monero trading $161.62. It's a triple B rating, and he does not have a buy or sell on that. Also to Stellar, trading at 9 cents. Also, well, it's down 15.6% in daily trading volume over the last day. We're going to look at a couple of more here. Let's go over here to Bitcoin Cash. There's 4 Bitcoins, but let's look at the Bitcoin Cash, trading at $336.28. It's an A rating. He also does not have this at a buy or sell, and it is up 50% in daily trading volume. Look at this. Now, this tells a story. So buyer beware. Do you see how this is moving sideways and has been moving sideways pretty much all day long? It traded $200 million in the last 24 hours. And then BSV. Let's take a look at BSV, trading at $42.63. Interesting. It's a triple B rating. And look how this thing's been going sideways all day long. Look at this. $42.63. It's down 7% in trading. But here's where it's at. Look, guys, it only traded $13,443,000 in the last 24 hours. Buyer beware. It makes it difficult when you're doing large trades and it's only trading 13 million. That the purchase would be easy, but the sale, watch out. Now they have the maker takers on the exchanges. So, but anyway, do your homework before you pull the trigger, guys and gals. I'm not giving any financial advice here. Let's look at Doge. Dogecoin is one of my favorites, trading at 10 cents, traded $612 million. It's up one. Oh, wow. It's only moved 1.1% for the day. Guys, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the chart. Hold on one second. Here we go. You see here, so here's the channel that it's been trading in. You see this has been trading down. It's been trading down. Let's take a look at this other chart first. Let's take a look at this chart first. Okay, you see how it's been moving sideways here for the last few days. This is a daily chart. This is for from the 3rd of, well, I'd say the 9th of August to today. So we're looking about the last 12 days. It's been moving sideways. You see this, how it's been moving sideways? Now, I'll just give a little brief overview here, just so you can see what I'm talking about here. Put one more up there. And this, by the way, this isn't any fancy charting. This is just giving you an idea of it moving, the direction that it's moving, so that you can get a little bit of an idea here, okay? All right, you see this right here? You see how this has been moving in this channel right here? So you went through here, hit the bottom of this one, hit the top of these right here, went through this one time, almost hit. So this is a channel. But look how small these candles are getting. So this is when you have to be careful when you're buying or selling, because you may miss the move. And this thing is trying to move. Oh, it's trying. Look at this. So it is, you know, overall, this channel has been going there, 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 or there, 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 and there. Let me show you. Let me show you how that looks, okay? Look at this. Watch this. Just so that you can see the trend. There, there, and there. See that? Look at that. Ooh, look how pretty that is. So it hit the top of this right here. And you see it went through the channel, went up above it. You can see this clear as day. Then over here, it had a great day of trading, the green candle here. And then the next day, the sellers tried to have their way. Now it ended in a good note, but the sellers had their day most of the day. Then it cuts through this mountain right here. So it just barely. This is just really good stuff to look at. Hit these two channels. It hits these two, excuse me. It hits these two candles, the top of them. Then it hits these two here. Then it cuts through all of these right here. It does hit this one right here, just barely. And then it captures this one. And matter of fact, if I just move that just a little bit right there, that's, yeah. So it hits the top of this one. It hits right here on this one that went up through here, and it barely hits this one right here. I could actually raise that just a tad more. Right there. Look at that. Hits this mountaintop, hits these two, goes all the way through this. It hits these two right here and here. And this, so this is the direction that it's been going. It's been going down. You see that? It's obvious to see that it's been traveling down. Well, I messed my deal up. There you go. It's obvious to see that it's been traveling down. And don't be afraid to crunch these up. Don't be afraid to crunch them up so you can kind of get a real boxed in picture of what this stuff looks like. You see it, how it hit through these mountaintops right here, and bam. And then there you go. Now this is a little bit more dramatic right here. If you want to look in the last few days, you can see it in this channel, right? This is very, very unscientific, so to speak. I think that's more right there. Yeah. This is why you want to play around with these things. You want to play around with them so that, yeah, look at that. Oof, that's pretty. Just above that right there. And then we're going to take this just like bam. Look at that. See that? So you see the angle of this right here, and where it went through, you see it went through the top here, the top of this channel, but it stayed under, but it hit the top, these two right here. It hit this one right here, just about, and it hit these two right here. Now, this is the day we're into right now, but this is pretty cool stuff. Now, this is already moved over into the next day. Oh, good job here. This is already the 21st. So this is in the UK or East Coast time, 9 o'clock East Coast time. Yeah, midnight in 1 minute. It's the next day, but it's already the next day in the UK. But do you see here? Look at this. So it could be. Now watch. You want to see something else that's really cool? Watch. Watch. Normally, when you're looking for the channels, you want the top of the green channels when you're charting from the top. But here, I want to show you, look at this. I'm kind of doing, this is not scientific at all. But what this does do for you is that it shows you a pattern of, and this is what I always recommend for you guys to do, guys and gals. Always recommend that you play around with these. Look at this. So you see this green where it traveled. It's above this channel here, or this trend line. It's a trend line, and look, it's coming to the perfect point, and it's probably got one, maybe 3 days left, maybe 2 or 3 days left of being into this, where it's called accumulating. So it could accumulate to about right here on the 23rd. So you get about another 3, maybe 4 days, and then it's going somewhere. Mark my word, I'm pretty good at this, and these are very unscientific. These are very unscientific charts. Okay, so there's nothing really technical about all this right here. But once again, this gives an indication of the direction. Okay. Gives an indication of the direction. So this is pretty cool stuff right here. I also have, take a look at this right here. So here, I had it charted here. And once again, this is a little bit similar to what it was on the other channel there. But you see here how Bitcoin has been traveling in this channel right here, and it's been traveling down. And of course, in order for it to hit exactly where I'm thinking it's going to, all the way down to 0, right? Right there, 358 and 358. You see that? 358 and 358. Now here, once again, guys and gals, once again, you're not going to see any analysts out there that chart the way I chart, because they don't want to. Everyone has their own ideas of leading you along the way, typically because they have something in mind, like they want you to buy from them or use them as some kind of service, right? And people want to get hired too. So a lot of people is always going to give the mainstream, popular view, and rarely you're going to get anybody say, hey, this is where it could go. Now, I also have it charted to 188,000. I mean, this thing could go, not based on this right here, not based on this, but if I wanted to take it from here, well, let's not get into that tonight, okay? I want people to look at where I think it could go. Now, once again, could it go? Does it look like it did come out of this channel? Now, I may have to readjust this channel here, because you see here where, see here where it hit the top of these. So I could probably adjust that there. So, I mean, we might be able to do something like this right here. I don't know. I mean, that made a new channel when it hit these little points right here where it was trying to go up. But if I did that, I'd have to adjust this as well. And I think that might be something like this right here. Right there. Maybe not. Oh, you know what? This could, I could do this. Let's see if, let's see. This thing might. Now, you remember how I made that come to the cone there? We could be seeing something like this, where this comes down into here, down into this direction here, down into the low 40s. Maybe. I have told you all along that it, you know, I believe it's heading this direction. But this might be it. Now look at this right here. Let's go back over here. Getting back to this chart right here. You see here? Look at this. So remember where I just showed you how this could be heading down to about right here. But this right here is another angle at it where it may come to the end of the cone. And if it does, that's going to be somewhere around $58,992.03. Write that down. Make sure you write that down. It's $58,992.03. Make sure you write that down. I mean, it. And by the way, whenever you go to buy or sell or you're trying to analyze, always try to take a good look at where you think the actual trend is going. This is why I take basic trends. Now, I can take you and show you some really good technical analysis of guys that I like to follow. Invalid chart link. All right, let's go back home. No, cancel. We're not doing that. Here's a really good chart right here. And this guy here, you see this where he has it charted here at the bottom of these two, but he has the cone in reverse. I have the cones coming in, guys and gals. I have the cones coming in. He has them going out like this. And I like that too. But now he's doing this right here, which is pretty cool stuff. Out of all the sites we're streaming at, like none of them are streaming correctly. Not sure why. It's all good. We're in the homes of we're in Corpus Christi, Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Texas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. Thank you for joining us. And if you're watching on our website here, then this one right here, hold on, baby boy and baby girls. See this right here? Share this tab instead. If you're seeing this right here, I mean, there's two ways to watch this. One is to be in Texas or Louisiana, coming soon to Tallahassee, Florida, and or 103 other stations. Now that day is coming, whether that's 100, 200, or 300 other stations. That day is coming because this Indian's going to go there. Yeah, I've been trying to get the Salt River for years. Like when Bitcoin was $300, I said to them, let's buy some Bitcoin, because the tribal's goals is to get the, just like every company or every nation, you know, you want the backup to the backup to the backup. And they have, and I won't get into that private number because that's private. It's not out for the public. We'll let the politicians do that. But they have a number that they want to get to. And I said, I can help you get there. If you, let's buy some Bitcoin, and I will be the overseer of it, the manager of it, so to speak. That was my idea. Well, you know, people called me stupid. That he don't know what he's talking about. You know, why would you listen to him? And of course, Bitcoin today is trading at $59,000, and at the time it was $3,000. Yeah, who would listen to me? Then when Bitcoin was $7,000, I said to them again, let's buy some Bitcoin. Let's do some math, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's do some math. You're looking at 100 million, which is what I suggested. Divide that, okay, by $3,300. It was actually $700, but let's just say $3,300. Okay, that's 30,303 Bitcoin. Now, if you were with an organization, by the way, this is what Michael Saylor did. He just told his company, let's go this direction. They said, pull the trigger. And since then, he's brought on billions and billions, and they've been buying at the high. They just continue to buy. Bitcoin trading right now, $59,218. Let's do the math. Times 59,218. $1,794,848.48. If they would have bought when I said let's buy, they'd have an extra $1,794,000,000. What can I say? I gave the recommendation. You can't make it. You can't make people. Boy, I am real shiny today. You can't make people do things. And I can tell you this, no risk it, no biscuit. Also, I can tell you this, that people make all kinds of choices. And you got to remember, these are your choices. You can't blame anybody for the choices that you make as an adult. This is why we talk about credit all the time. You can hit that credit button there. If you go to our site, smartmoneyculture.tv/credit, and you click on that credit button, fill it out. We will help you, because this is how the game plan works. Apply, get credit. Apply and get credit. Step 1. Okay. Step 2. Spend the credit. Somebody told me, made a comment to me, I don't trust get-rich-quick plans. Like this is a get-rich-quick plan. No, it's not a get-rich-quick plan. When you get credit and spend it, you go into debt, dummy. That don't make you rich. Well, I got to pay it back. Duh. Duh. If you go into business and you risk your money in the business, you know, You can pay yourself back, but if you borrow the money, yeah, you have to pay it back. But hopefully you're not too stupid and that you write a good game plan and implement your game plan and revenue comes in. You know what revenue is? That means people see it and say, I want to do business. And they call you up or they text you or they email you or they fill out the form like I'm telling you to do. Fill it out. And then if you meet the data points, you can get credit. We do it for you. We have a done it for you, which means we do the majority of the work. You're going to have to participate, but this isn't a mentoring. We're not going to mentor you and just teach you how to do it. We're going to do it. There's some things that you have to do, but we're going to do most of the work. It's like no get rich quick here. This had nothing to do with getting rich. It has to do with getting credit. Dummy. Listen to that person. And she's not a stupid person, but she made a stupid comment. She's a smart lady. Real smart lady. She's in marketing. Real smart. Has a ton of followers and really sharp head on her shoulders. Really bright. But that was a dumb comment. You're not getting rich quick. You're getting credit. Like the other... Hold on a second. Let me see here. Don't go anywhere. Don't go nowhere. Give me a breakdown of how many Americans have credit and the amounts, etc. Okay. 191 million Americans have credit cards. The average American has 3.8 credit cards. This is a too good to be true. It's not a getting rich. It's what you do. It's just that most people don't know how to use the credit when they get it. Total credit card debt, $1 trillion. It's higher than that as of 2023. About 45% of credit card holders carry a balance month to month, which means they spend the majority of their time just paying interest. If you learn our strategies, you use your credit like a bank. Like use the velocity banking. And then as you start to move it along, after you get your debts in order, then you can start transferring into your infinite banking strategies. The insurance, just like all the billionaires do. Every single one of them. $59% of Americans have a credit score. I said 60%. You heard me say it. I have receipts for it. 59% have credit in the 700 plus score. 59% have a 700 plus credit score. This is why we have a country like we have it. This is why we have the country that we have, because 59% of you have credit cards. Now, once you learn how to use those credit cards, once you learn how to use them, to your advantage, then things are going to change for you. Not the Dave Ramsey way. That guy's I love Dave Ramsey. Big fan of Dave Ramsey. Huge, huge fan of Dave Ramsey. But that stuff don't work no more. I'm sorry. it only works in a perfect scenario. And he's always like, well, cut this and cut that. Okay, try it out and see how it works. That's why his audiences have gone from the, dwindled like it was. And he spends most of his time yelling at people now. I'm not against Dave. I'm for him. I like him a lot. But once again, cash is trash. You lose just Google it. Go do your own research. From 1924 to this year. And by the way, when I put up that stat, then it landed on Google. That's what TV does. It's the credibility of TV. In 1924, $1 was worth more than $1. Okay. In 2024, it took $18.43 to equal this $1. Inflation went up 1,743%. In the last 100 years, inflation on that dollar has gone up 1,743%. What does that say about our cash system and what our government and the banking systems have done to us? And you have financial systems that say, oh, yeah, I'll give you 4 or 5%. Yes, in 30, 40, 50 years, I heard Dave Ramsey saying if you put $100 into a something, in 40 years from now, you'll be worth $2.5 million. Okay, great. I love it. That's a great plan. 100%. But you're waiting 40 years to get it. If you learn how to use someone else's money, and then use your revenue, like your JOB, you can even just do it with a job, to pay, to create cash flow into that credit that you borrowed. It's a rotating line of credit. Then you can borrow back your own money to pay the bills. All in the while of raising your credit scores. Rich people don't care about credit scores. It raises your lines of credit. Everyone wants more credit. Most people who get into debt go, oh my God, I don't need more credit because it's ruined me. But those who know how to use the credit say, I want more. Then when you learn how to, because what happens is when you deposit your dollars into the bank, that's a stupid looking roof. When you deposit your money into the bank, you give away your rights. You lose all right. I could always get rid of that, but I'm going to leave it up there. When you deposit your money into the bank takes controls the principal, which is the cash, the principal, and the interest that's made on it. You give away your rights. When you put your money into the bank, you give away your rights to the principal, which is the amount you put in there, and any interest that's made on it. You give away your rights. You give it to them. And then they kindly tell you back, oh, by the way, would love to give you 0.25% on that money that you put into our bank. Oh, yeah, we'd love to do that. Now they trick you because they don't want you to take your money out anymore. So they'll give you a little bit higher rate. But this is what happens. We give up our control. We give up control of the principal and the interest that we could be making for ourselves. And most people don't know that they're giving up their rights to the principal and the interest. The way it really should be is that we give them the money and that we demand that we get to make the interest or a percentage of the interest that's made. Because here's how it works. If you put in $100 deposit, so you deposit $100, they are going to take this $100 and they're going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in 9 different banks. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In these 9, they're going to take 9 branches. They're going to take your $100 and they're going to do what's called fractional banking, which they're allowed to do. And they're going to loan 100 all the way down. They're going to loan, I shouldn't have done that. 100 to that bank, 100 to this 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 bank, and 100 to this bank. And 100 to this bank. 700 plus credit. 700 plus credit score. Okay? They're going to take this, they're going to take your 100 and they're going to loan out $1,000. That equals $1,000. And then they're going to charge somewhere between 4 and 8% interest. And they're going to give you, the bank is going to give you on your $100 somewhere between 1 and 4%, depending on how much you put in there. On $100, they're not giving you 4%. We deposited over $200,000. I one time I put in Desert Financial. I put in $200,000. I needed to place the money. I set $200,000 into a money market account. They said, Mr. Mackey, congratulations. You're going to earn 1%. I said, wow, amazing. The Bitcoin returned to 50%, and you're giving me 1. Wow, that's pretty good. They're like, what? I said, yeah, the Bitcoin returned us 50%, but I need to park this money. You're giving me 1. They go, well, we don't do Bitcoin, or, you know, we don't want customers to do. That's what they told me. We don't want customers to do Bitcoin. I said, I'll take my $200,000 back. I had to check. I said, I'll take this back if you don't want my $200,000. They said, no, we'll take it. Of course they did. Gave me 1% on it for the year. Congratulations. When you own the Bitcoin, you get to keep, when you put your money on those exchanges, you get to keep your right to the principal and any interest, so to speak, or as it goes up in value, you get to keep all that. They don't keep any of it. They may charge you a small fee to cash it or to transfer it, but it's very small, minimal fee. They're not graping you like the banks. And when you become your own banker, you make the difference just like the banks do. So this is how the banks, one of the ways the banks make the money. They give you a loan, or excuse me, you put your cash in. They're going to take their money and fraction it out 10 times. So they're making 10 times. 10 times. So they may pay you 4%, but over here, if they charge every one of these guys 4%, that's 40% that they made on your money. That's 40%. Let's say you made 4%. They just made 36% on your money. Who is screwing who? Did you see that? You put your money in. Let's say they do give you 4%, because they're not, unless you're putting large amounts of money in, which most of us aren't. But let's say they do give you 4%. The average is like 1%. Okay. But let's say they give you 4%. They're going to take that 100. They're going to fraction it out, and they're going to send $100 a fraction, which they're allowed to do, which means they're borrowing or leveraging against your money. 10 different times. They're going to send it to 10 different branches, because they can't do it on this branch. They could loan 100 out of this branch, but then they're going to go to 9 other branches and do that. So 10 different times they're going to take your 100 and loan it out at 4 to 8%. If they just loan it out at 4%, and each one of those 9 they make the 4% on, they're paying you 4. That's 40% they made on your money. 36% after they pay you on your money, because you give up the rights to this money. Now, am I against the banks? No. Am I for the banks? You're dang right I am, because they taught us how to do this. And there's not going to be enough of us out there to make a difference. Like, they don't give a crap about us. You're nobody. I'm nobody. We're nobody to them. And thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of us can do it. 1 million of us can do it. And it's not going to bother the banks what we do. No. No. The central banks are worth thousands of trillions of dollars. Thousands of trillions of dollars. You think they care about a couple of 100 billion or a couple of 100 trillion? Yeah, they do, if it gets up to that big. But not this stuff that we're teaching, not the stuff you're going to do. They could care less about you. Matter of fact, they'll help facilitate you if you keep your mouth shut and just do your business. Their algorithms are going to pick you up, and it's going to say, hey, I see what these guys are doing. Let's give them some more money, because the money sits at the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, then it goes to the central banks. The Federal Reserve, when they print, this is the shelf. Most of the money the Federal Reserve prints sits on the shelf. Why? Because that 59% that I showed you, the majority of this 59% doesn't know how to use the credit they're given. They'll go spend it on clothes and restaurants, buying a car, furniture. This girl that I know went out and bought a $10,000 purse, and she really thinks she is somebody. I said, why didn't you give some of that to your mama? She goes, why? I said, because she raised you and she struggled financially raising you. She's like, but I wanted the purse. I'm like, oh, okay. Most of the money sits on the shelf that's printed. It doesn't even make it into the public. And they desperately want it to make it into circulation, into the public. Desperately. But we're in a, America has been turned into a bunch of consumers. We just want consumption. Look at us. We're fat pigs. I'm fat. I can call men or women fat pigs because I'm fat. And I've been called a pig. According to the demographics that we got, 42% of our audience here are women. Thank you for watching. Not trying to insult you at all. Or men or guys. I'm not trying to insult you either. I'm not trying to insult anybody. But I am just talking. If you can't be offended, then you can't grow. You'll never grow if you can't be offended. You'll never grow if you can't take some pain. It ain't going to happen. You have to put yourself in a position to be offended and to have major amounts of pain and pressure come down on you. Yeah, you have to be ready for that. Because if you don't, you can't grow out of it. That pressure, and that pain of people calling you stupid and not believing you and not supporting you and doing things against you that cause you trouble, however that is, So anyway, we want to, I was told a proverb many years ago, the man or woman who blames others has a long way to go. The man or woman who blames him or herself is halfway there. The man or woman who blames nobody has already arrived, and you're not listening to all that crap because you're already on that road. You have trudged the road to happy destiny because that road is in. You know what trudge means? Whenever you go and look and say, hey, I see the trail where everyone's walking. You can see the trail, right? People walk and it causes a little indentation because everyone walks there. It's called the trail. That little indentation means to trudge. The road's already there. And once you get on that road to happy destiny, you're not listening to anybody. You don't forget the past. You use it as a lesson, but you're not, and you don't care how it comes at you from the back or the sides or even the front because you know you're going to continue to go straight. And a lot of people quit, like Zach Ma or I can't remember what Ma's first name is. He's a guy from who has the largest online business. It's 30 times bigger than Amazon, based out of China. And he said, hey, today's pretty good, but tomorrow's going to suck. And then the next day, you're going to want to commit suicide or kill yourself. Most people quit at suck. Most people quit tomorrow at suck. Things suck. I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. I quit. And there you go. So when you learn this banking system here, then you can have control of the principal and the interest. that the banks took away from you when you made your deposit there. This is why cryptocurrency goes really well with credit, because you get to become your own banker. So you're going to borrow from yourself a lot. You're going to borrow to fund your other banks, because once you learn how to the same practices, the same principles that the banks do, then you can do this right that they're doing, except you get to do it with your money, and you get to be the bank, and you get to make the difference. And usually it's not going to be this big, because this is cheating. We're not mad at them, but 100% this is cheating, because this is called fractional banking. It's not even real. It's made up just for the financial institutions. It's kind of like when you're leveraging and they let you leverage 100 times the value. You put in $100, and then they let you leverage 100 times that, 100 times per dollar, which would be what? 100, that'd be 10,000. 100 times that. They let $10,000. Anyway, there's a lot of good lessons to be learned here, and sky's the limit for you. It just depends on what you want to do. That's all. It just depends on what you want to do. But anybody can do this. Once again, let's take a look at some. Well, I went totally sideways. I love it. We're going to be live. I've been live for an hour and a half. Right? Has it been an hour and a half? An hour and 7 minutes. So we're going to go for another 18 minutes. Here's a stat for you. Here's a stat. This is going to blow you away. I hate to do this. We're 1.77 trillion in credit card debt. Debt. To the average mortgage, 220,000. 300. Oh. $380. Let's do the math on this. This is going to blow you away. I'm going to watch. This is what's left. But let's just say that your average mortgage is 228,000. Let me read that stat again here. Per borrower, 220,338. All right. Loan calculator. 230,338. The average interest rate right now is 8.211 for 30 years. Let's calculate that out. You're going to pay $390,000 in interest. Are you looking at this? Are you looking at this? the average mortgage, that means a lot of them are in the millions. We're talking personal loans for houses, mortgages. So some of them are just lower amounts, but you're looking at 230,338. And by the way, just to let you know, 4 years ago when this president took office, the average cost of a house in America was $124,000. Now it's $440,000. It went up 320%. 300%. So when they tell you that inflation has gone up 7% or 20%, they're all lying. Even the Republicans, they're lying. They're all lying to you. And we keep electing. Now, Trump, I'm a President Trump, Bible thumping, NRA kind of guy. That's who I am today. Okay. Now, I'm never going to be liberal because that's people who are liberal have a mental disorder. And that's just the way I believe it. Okay. And so you need help, and that's okay. I'm not against you. I'm for you. But once again, if you can't sit in the Republicans, even they will never address this, that the cost of homes didn't go up 20 or 30% since they've been in office. It's gone up 300%. The average cost of a home when Trump was in office was $124,000. Today, it's $440,000. It's gone up 300%. 300. You got to tell the truth. This is why, I mean, even those folks out there in internet land who say they're such great Republican defenders of the conservative, blah, 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 even they won't touch this because most of them are too stupid to touch this. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. You don't have to like it. I don't care if you don't like it. You don't pay my bills. No, you don't. You can give me some business. The business doesn't pay our bills. It helps us scale. You give me the money, we're going to spend it. Scaling. I know. I'm getting a little out of hand. I'm not trying to turn away business, but you have to be punched in the face. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody's a tough guy till they get punched in the mouth. And I've been punched in the mouth quite a bit in my 62 years of living. So what I want to say to you is, if the average cost of homes when Trump was in office was $124,000, and today the average cost of a home is $440,000, what does that mean? The cost of the home went up 300%. Okay? So you can do that on food too. The average cost of eggs when Trump took office was 99 cents. When he left, it was 99 cents. Actually, it was $1.25 and it went down to 99 cents. That was like a 30% reduction in your food pricing. A lot of things changed differently, not because he was such a great mathematician. I think most of what he did was bullcrap. And it's okay. It's okay to say that. I'm for him, not against him. But what he should have done was fired half of the swamp and then just redid our entire financial system. Yeah. Anyway, they say the president has to go. The president doesn't have to go through Congress. It was set up, but it's morphed into something different over the last couple of 100 years. And it is what it is, guys and gals. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So the Republicans said they'd rather lose honorably than get elected by doing a little, by fighting back, calling somebody like Trump did when he said, "You're stupid." Like when he called Senator Warren Pocahontas, they're like, "How can you say that? Oh, how can you call the people coming across the borders murderers and rapists?" That's because they were, the majority of them. Now, I have relatives that come across the border that's pretty good people. And you may know a lot of people that's come across as pretty good people. But what started happening was a lot of these countries started sending the word. Somebody get arrested and they say, you got to go. And they kick them out of the country. They've been doing it for a decade and sending up the worst people, maybe 2 decades. The worst of the worst of the worst up here. Now, are the best of the best coming? Yeah, but they come the right way. Like my friend who's fixing to get his naturalization. He's fixing to become a U.S. citizen. And I can't wait. I'm going to be there. Anyway, so the price of things like eggs, when Trump left office, the average cost of a dozen eggs when he left, right before he left office, was 99 cents. The average cost of eggs now in the United States per dozen across the board in the United States is $4.25. It was $5, but it went down because it's election year. But right now, the average cost of eggs across the board is $4.25. Inflation went up 300%. But nobody wants to say that. Supposedly, we fought a revolution over a 2% tax on tea. Are you kidding me? We've been fed a whole bunch of lies about how history really was, because the winners get to write the history books, not the losers. I don't believe a bit. I don't believe most of what we learned about our history, because now we're in the information age, as Doug Johnson says. We're in the age of information. And all these records that were written and stories that are written in history that was written, that are in archives all over the world, are now starting to come out and get put on the internet. And so we know that a lot of what we were told, there's no truth to it. A bunch of lies. But we will fight to the death to believe these lies. It has to be true. My teacher told me. My mama told me, and she ain't no liar. Look at this. Let's amateurize this out. On a $230,000 loan at 8.211%, which is the average rate across the board for a mortgage now, you're going to pay $390,399.20 in interest alone on that $200,000, which means you're going to pay that $230,000 plus another $160,000. $230,000. This is your house. You're going to pay $200,000. How much is it? $390,000. You're going to pay this house $230,000 in interest. Then you're going to pay another $160,000 in interest. You're going to buy the bank. You're going to buy the bank one house and almost two houses. You're going to buy the bank one full house, and then 3/4 of another one. Just in interest payments alone. And then you're going to still pay off, and then you're still going to pay this back. Are you getting this? And you're calling this the American dream? You're calling this the American dream right here. Mom and dad, all your smart people in church, all these Republicans, all these Democrats are saying this is the American dream. Get a mortgage for $230,000 and pay interest and buy the bank one more house and 3/4 of a second house in interest, and you still have to pay this $230,000 back. You still have to pay the $230,000 back. In addition, you're going to buy them a new house and 3/4 of another house in interest payments alone. How is that the American dream? You can take this same scenario and do it yourself and own where the principal goes, how it's spent, and the interest. Yeah, boy. You guys go to Smart Money Culture Television Network. Go here to our site and click that credit button and fill it out. Be honest. I never can get why people feel, and by the way, I don't care. It's up to you if you want to be stupid. It doesn't make you smart or tricky or funny. Most people fill out the information correctly, but you get some folks who put stupid info in. Why? I have no clue. Probably because they're retarded. And I had a person tell me, I had a guy tell me, you can't say that word retarded. They have Down syndrome. And I said, oh, I didn't know you had a twin. You're not going to get political correctness from me because I don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. Are you hearing me? Facts do not care about your feelings. And if you call this the American dream, go for it. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to do business with us. There's lots of people you can do business out there. Go do business with Kamala Harris or half the Republicans out there. By the way, I'm voting down the Republican line because we have no choice. If we don't, we're totally going to screw ourselves. And then hopefully Trump comes in this time and actually does what he said he was going to do. He totally screwed himself last time. Should probably come in and stay in office no matter what for the next 8 years. That's what the Democrats do. They're just stealing elections by making up new ballots. You know, they let all these illegals come in. And I know this as a fact because I was told this is a matter of fact from more than one person illegal that's come in here. And both the men told me, and one of the ladies, I've been told by 3 people that said when they went through the system of coming in here, made them sign all this paperwork up. They gave them a temporary green card and said and they gave them money, sent them anywhere they wanted to go, mainly to red states. They wanted them to go to Republican states. Got them an apartment when they got there. Gave them credit, $5,000 on credit cards. Cash on debit cards. So here's your bank account. And registered them. All 3 of them told they were registered to vote Democratic. And if they voted the Democratic Party, those temporary green cards became automatic. They became automatic citizens. How do you deport somebody who's now an automatic citizen? Tell me that, Trump. President Trump, respectfully. How do you do that? And his own people aren't even telling him. This is what's really screwed. God bless you guys. Fly Mackey, I'm out. See you tomorrow. Have a great night. For Smart Money Culture Television, see you tomorrow. I love it. That was a